Truth won't ever lie.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't lie.
Yeah.
Ever. Because it's the truth.
And one thing that we've been talking about a lot and that I've been thinking about a lot is life. And in the meaning...
What is life?
Yeah. And also the meaning is, or the thought is life a virtual reality game?
What? Are you saying life is a game?
Yes, I think life is a game, and it works basically like VR.
What is VR?
Yeah, and yeah, okay. What is VR?
Well, it's a headset you put on, and it basically captures your senses,
Yeah.
your eyes specifically. And
Right now, it's just the eyes, but of course they're working on, or there is already gloves, so you can feel and
Yeah.
the entire body.
But basically, when you put on the headset, you actually think that you're in that world.
Yeah.
So what that does is makes me think like, okay, so what's the difference? Well, the difference is just the graphics, the resolution.
Yeah.
So basically, when you're in that world, your mind actually thinks you're there because when you're moving, you can actually get off balance.
Yeah, you get dizzy.
What that says is that your mind actually believes it's there,
Yeah.
but your body ain't moving. So you're standing there with the headset and you're moving in the game, yet your body in the real life is standing still, and that causes the off balance, the dizziness, because people get dizzy when putting on the VR headset, because their body ain't moving, but their mind thinks they are moving because it's so.
Oh, the body is moving a bit because sometimes you play games where you stand up and when you hit things, so you're moving a bit, but you can't walk forward or run.
Maybe you're using your arms. Anyways, so what that means is that if the graphics improve so much to the point where it actually looks like reality, which it will, if
soon,
if it's going the way it's going, graphics will end up looking like reality in the end. Because what do you need to create graphics that looks like reality? You need more power, computing power, and that is just a question of when, so it's time. With time we will have graphics looking exactly like this. What you're seeing right now, you will be able to recreate. You might even be able to recreate it with today's technology. I don't know, but what that means is there will come a time where they can actually hook you up into a VR world that looks exactly like reality.
And also eventually feels like, tastes like, smells like.
Yeah. Like when they get all of that down.
And then you can ask yourself what is reality and what is not.
Exactly. Are we right now in a virtual reality? Many people now are talking about this.
Yeah.
Being
a lot of scientists also.
Yeah. Mainstream scientists have said that they have found like computer codes in the fabric of our reality.
And that is so interesting. It's a bit in somehow, for me it's both a bit scary and it's a bit comforting.
How is it comforting?
That and it means that this life, I don't need to take it so seriously
because it's
a game. And it's scary also because if I'm in a VR game, the question comes also, of course, what is real, and
or is everything real?
Yeah, and also how
programmed.
Yeah, how
programmable.
Everything is, and how programmable am I? Because if I'm in a VR game, if I'm a player in a VR game, who is controlling me, or what could control me?
Or is this the base
virtual
reality game? Like,
or is there 1,000 behind me?
Or not.
Yeah.
That is also a possibility, because many mainstream scientists, they like to say that we are, that it's a probability that we're not in the head game, like we're in like the 1,000th version of the game. Maybe this is the real game, but we're trying to create an alternate game in the real game, like what we're doing with VR. And that's the scary part. Like, whenever VR gets to the point that it looks like reality and they can connect your mind to that video game, if they erase your memory and they just throw you into that VR game that looks like reality, how the fuck would you know that you're in that game and not in the reality you were in before? You wouldn't. That's the scary part. But the thing is, though, we are heading that way. I'm involved in working with VR, funny enough, which is not a good thing in that way, you know. But anyways, that would mean if we come to the point that is a reality where people can jump into a VR game, the danger in that is that you can get trapped.
Yeah.
Your soul, we all have a soul. That's what I believe.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
definitely.
We all have a soul, and if it gets stuck in that VR game.
You mean, how do you mean get stuck? Like you always go into a new create?
Hoshibu, the
like
cat.
You always go into a new VR character that you will never get out of.
What I mean is, you will have to obey to the rules of the creator of that game. Like whatever rules that.
And that is what I mean with what I fear. How much is programmable
in this life?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the eternal question that we don't know, because I think when we got into this reality, I think we came with a clean slate.
Yeah.
We have no memory of what we were before this, you know. So it's an everyday struggle to gather knowledge.
I think we don't have
to try to remember.
Yeah, I don't think we have a memory, but I do think somehow we gather not knowledge. How would you say it?
Information.
Yeah, I think that for every life you live, you gather some information
for your soul.
Yeah, your soul grows. Your souls gather information, and the more lives you live, the wiser you get.
Yeah.
The faster maybe you can figure out life. Do you see what I mean? I think that, to use a word like mature, or have more knowledge about moral, or easier to be a moral person. I think there's.
Is that dependent on how many lifetimes you reincarnate?
Not necessarily how many lives you lived, but how much you learned during every life.
Yeah.
Like your soul has a database with this, and sometimes people need to live more lives. Because I also think it has with awakening to do. Like, the more lives you live, the more you learn. The more... how I say it, the more experience you have with your soul, the easier the life will get. I think you will take life easier. I think you will be a more relaxed, moral person.
Yeah. The cat wants out.
Yeah.
She can't right now. Yeah. Another weird thing is we think we're living in a 3D reality, right? That's what we think. But if you think about it, if you look with your eyes, what you're seeing is a 2D screen.
Yeah.
Right now, when you're looking at this, whatever you're looking at, it is a 2D screen.
Yeah.
But it gives you the illusion of 3D. Like when I'm doing this, it looks like my hand is like getting bigger. But what this is just a painting. Yeah. It's a painting up my fingers right now for you to think that it's 3D. But if you think about a 3D game when you're playing on your PS4 or whatever, that is a 2D screen. It is you can't dispute that. It's a 100% 2D screen, like on the TV. It's a 2D screen. Yet it fools you to think that there is space in that screen. Just as the mirror fools us in real life that you're looking at, when you look in the mirror, you think that there is some space that you're looking at, but it's a 2D screen. So with the video game, it's a 2D screen giving you an illusion of 3D because it's programmed to make invisible, and this is a complex thing, but it's programmed to give you the sense that you're walking in a corridor or whatever, and the walls are programmed so you can't go through them. So everything is like programmed, like right now, this is a program. Like when my hand touches my other hand, this is programmed to stop right here, to give us the illusion that this is more than a 2D picture. But it's just a 2D painting with, well, it's complicated, but I'm trying to make it simple, which is also hard as fuck.
Yeah, but I know that before, long before VR, I had similar thoughts. And I tried to talk with my friends about it, because if you think about it, just as you said, that everything is programmed, everything is decoding.
Yeah.
So everything I see, I interpret things differently than you do. We still see the same things, like you.
Hopefully. Hopefully we're seeing the same thing.
If I give you this, you will see that I give you my cup of tea.
Yeah, but there might be some people that have something messed up with their coding, and they're seeing that cup of tea kind of different than you. But yeah,
it doesn't mean that it messed up. It just means that everyone decodes differently. But everything is decoded. Is decoded. I code everything that I see. It's just my mind that tells me what I see or what I touch. Because we seem to focus very much on what we see, but we decode everything also by what we feel, what we hear, what we say, what we touch and smell. Everything is just codes going into the mind and telling us what it is, which means basically that this doesn't necessarily need to exist.
No?
Nothing needs to exist the way I think that it exists.
Yeah, but right now we're in it, so we have to, go with those rules.
Have to go with it.
But think about it, everything is solid, yet there is
there's more
matter.
Yeah.
No. There's matter, like this liquid that is not solid. This liquid, you can actually put your hand through it.
Yeah.
It's like I would put my hand through you, boom, like Terminator, Yet we don't think that's weird. Why? Why don't we think this is weird? That there is material that is liquid that you can go through, and also it's invisible sometimes.
Yeah.
It's invisible. Okay. Why don't we think that is weird? Because we grew up with seeing both liquid matter and solid matter.
Yeah.
So everything we grow up with.
But also, if you're gonna, if we're gonna listen to mainstream science, so they talk about atoms and electrons and everything. So they say that there is, even though this is solid, there is more space here.
Yeah, it's
than matter.
Yeah,
it's much more space here than matter.
Like 99% or something.
Yeah, and for me that is weird. And so this is also.
You know what that tells me? Is that they say this is 99% nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that 1% or whatever it is, maybe that's just information.
Yeah, of course.
The coding.
Yeah.
Coding information.
Yeah, of course.
And they say everything is like that.
Yeah.
So that means that 1% is just coding for you to code.
Yeah.
But it's different coding. Like the coding in this has the information to make you code it into a glass with a whatever liquid fluid.
But what is quite cool that even though this is 99% of space, nothing, empty space, it is flawless. It never accidentally
breaks.
No, it never accidentally allows me to put my hand through it. Never. It's
maybe
100% flawless.
Maybe until you die. Maybe if you stop coding.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But right now, when you live,
it's flawless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they say also, like when you throw a ball to the wall, it always bounces back. Yeah. It never finds a hole, or it never accidentally. Like the coding system is perfect.
Exactly, and when you say that, that is exactly why we believe in this illusion, because it's perfect.
Yeah, because in some even games, but we take like VR games, you can still go through
walls and stuff.
And
it's not perfect.
No,
it's not perfect,
and that's why we don't.
That is the only difference right now between. As I was saying earlier, VR, the virtual reality that the man has created, or whoever has created, I don't know what it is, it's not perfect, and that's why we don't believe it. This reality, though, is perfect in the sense that you don't find any flaws.
Yeah.
Because if you were to find any flaws, like I'm walking and then I'm seeing a person and his or her head is like it's not round. Yeah. It's like blocky, a blocky head.
Like you see the polygons.
Yeah, like you see in a video game where the character is not perfectly rounded or whatever.
Yeah, or if you accidentally happens to go through a car.
Yeah, you go through a car, you will say, "What the fuck is this reality? I don't believe in it." So reality, our reality has to be believable. So it has to be perfect. Because as soon as we see a flaw, we will start to doubt our reality. So.
And this, and when I think about it, it of course automatically takes me to Matrix.
Yeah, the movie Matrix.
Yeah, the movie Matrix, which I remember that I saw, and when I saw it, I was not
getting it.
No, I was not really getting it. I was not as awake, and I didn't have as much knowledge as I have now, obviously.
Me too.
But I remember when I saw it, and I thought I actually thought this is not unbelievable. This is
There's
not
something
impossible.
To this. There could be something to this.
Definitely could be something to this. Definitely. Because I always questioned life, and as soon as I went to school and you learned about the brain and the eyes, and when the teacher told me that you see things upside down, but then the brain turns it right. I don't know. I don't remember.
But the funny thing is the brain itself is a thing in the game.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
but that what I wanted to say.
Yeah, but that.
No, I wanted to say that when I heard that, I immediately questioned, how do you know that? Who who found that out.
Who taught you that?
Yeah, and if it is so that the brain turns the image right, the first thing I thought when I was a child was, what, is everything upside down? And then I started to question things like, okay, but then it's just my brain that tells me then maybe what I see is not the correct thing. And that is how I started to think when I was just, a little child.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, you're decoding, like we're decoding this living room right here from something that is coming from outside into our brain, inside and back here. And back here we are decoding this living room and us being in it.
Yeah.
How strange is that? It's coming from the outside. We're decoding it back here, and we're inside the living room that were from outside back here. Doesn't even make sense. It's retarded.
Yeah.
It's, so everything is like, what the fuck? So what are we? People talk about consciousness, the soul, the being that is coding this illusion and making it real. Sometimes I think when I close my eyes, what happens then? Much of the decoding disappears. Like, you disappear.
Not only close your eyes, like, does the things that are behind me exist when I look at it? Oh,
that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing regarding to video games, is that I was a video game geek when I was a kid. I'm still into it. Who isn't these days? Yeah. Yeah. So I was watching its progression when the 3D game started to become better and better and better. I think it was 1994 or 1995 with PS1, PlayStation 1, stuff like that. So I was watching its progression, and I could see in those early days, video games, they would have a lot of what they call pop-up, which means like you could see a road, but you could see trees and houses pop up. What that is because it has to render it because it didn't have enough memory or processing power or whatever. So it renders a bit in a time, at a time, like. And then when it got more advanced, it started to be able to render more and more. But still, I could see in some games, when I was looking to the left or to the right, I could see some parts disappearing from the right when I was looking to the left, and vice versa. It's because it's saving power, it's saving processing power, because it doesn't really have to render it if you're not looking there. So why would it render the whole area if you're not looking there? So that's what I think it's even mainstream. I don't know if it's a mainstream scientist who said this, but there's theories that our reality is doing the exact same thing. Like people watching this video, they can see behind me, but I can't. So for me, I'm not rendering this living room right behind me, and you're not either, until we turn around and it's rendered.
Yeah, there's no pop-ups in reality.
No, there's no pop-ups because the processing power of our reality is so fast.
Yeah,
it's so fast that you don't notice that it has created the other part of the living room or wherever. So that's a funny thing too, like how our life could be a video game. Think about that one. That's a weird one, but a really interesting subject too.
And I think also for the future and how you see reality and how you see life, I think it's an important thing to think about and to talk about.
Yeah, of course. Instead of talking about what? Fashion? Fuck that. What is that? How important is fashion regarding the meaning of existence?
Yeah.
How important are shoes? Or whatever. Or even soccer. ooh, I'm making people angry now, especially guys.
Well, I think all these things are created to
Distract
keep
us.
Yeah, to distract us, definitely.
Distract us from finding out the real truth about reality. You know, she's playing with the
I know.
cat toy. So yeah, what do you guys think about is our reality a VR reality, a virtual reality?
Yeah, is this life a virtual reality?